Welcome to the Schwartz Advisors Report from AftermarketNews. I'm Maddie Weiner, and today we are here live at Apex, and I'm joined by Mike Buzzard, Managing Partner at Schwartz Advisors.
Thanks for having me, Maddie.
Thank you so much for taking the time. I'm excited to delve into some questions with you. I know you are one of the newest members of the Schwartz Advisors team, is that right?
That's right.
Okay. So tell me about your background and why is Schwartz Advisors a good fit for you?
Well, thank you, and I'm thrilled to be here, and it's a lot of fun to be able to have this discussion on the show floor as we're going into the week. It's a great setting.
Totally.
I've been really around the automotive aftermarket my entire life.
Okay.
I come from a family warehouse distributor business that was started by my grandfather.
Wow.
And then my dad and his brothers all ran it for a number of years, and we were the third generation in it. It came in with my brother and my cousin called Mid-Atlantic Warehouse. Mm-hmm. And I've spent my career really in the parts business, and I've been fortunate that even though we sold our business in 2004, I was able to stay on with Uni-Select that eventually took it over. I stayed involved in a number of different roles in the business. So kind of started as the night shift supervisor after I joined in 2003, which was a very exciting time, and was able to really experience the business from the ground up. So worked in outside sales, calling on customers in the New York and New Jersey regions, became a general manager, so saw both our store and our warehouse distribution operations, and then moved to Atlanta and spent a lot of time in corporate marketing and marketing technology, and spent some time in corporate development, and then finally independent sales and product management. So, even though I was with really the same firm, I was able to see a whole different perspective by the different roles I was able to take on with Uni-Select and Auto Plus.
Yeah, that's so interesting. So you've kind of hit every sort of division or different parts of the, what makes up an aftermarket company, I guess.
And that's really what I'm excited to bring to the SA team is that if you look at our firm and really what we do, we're all made up of aftermarket experts and people that have spent their career in industry and have a lot of relationships, but really understand how it works and how it's supposed to work. So that's a big part of what we bring to our clients is the ability to take all of our experiences over our life and help them better their business and take them to the next level.
So, Mike, you're third generation. You literally grew up in distribution.
Yeah. When I was 15, I got thrown into our warehouse and started stocking parts and loading trucks and stuck with it for almost all my career. After I graduated from Loyola in Baltimore, I worked for JP Morgan for 2 years. So I wanted to have a little outside experience and then be able to bring that back into our business. And certainly that role with JP Morgan's helped me with my role with Schwartz Advisors today.
Oh, for sure, yeah. So you were saying your family sold your family business.
Yep.
Tell me about the decision to sell. Was it? I assume it would be a hard decision. You know.
It's a very difficult decision.
Yeah.
And we always like to say it was the right partner for the right time for our family. Mm-hmm. And if you look at so many other independent family-owned WDs or really any other aftermarket businesses, trying to find the right time to be able to look for the right partner is some of the advice that I like to give. Because a lot of times people think that they're selling and then that's the end of it. But there's a lot of our clients, including what our family did, is that we continued forward and we really look for the right partner to help us continue to grow and continue to acquire and continue to grow our business. So it's a very difficult decision, but I think that everybody has their own reasons for doing it, and that's kind of what we try to work with at the very front end is really understanding the motivation for our clients of really what they want to accomplish and what they're looking to do.
Okay, yeah, and finding that right partner, like you said, to kind of work with and understand the next level of the business, I would imagine.
And really help them grow. And a lot of times you get to a point where you've invested all your time, all your capital, all your resources, and you want to take it to the next level, but it's going to take either a significant financial contribution to go to the next step, and a lot of times the right decision is to find someone to help you do that and help set up a lot of things on the back end from estate planning for your family and things like that,
Yeah.
but still keep the business going forward with the right partner.
Yeah, so true. Now, from your view, what do you feel is driving distribution consolidation today?
Well, I think it may have accelerated over the last 20 years.
Okay.
There's still that need, what I'll call for some of the larger warehouse distributors of wealth transfer, how they go through
Yeah.
and find the right partner, and not just about their family, but also their employees, and who's going to take over for the financial stability for all of their team members and the people that work for them. So
Right.
that's really why finding the right partner is important on a number of different levels, and you have a number of different constituents that need for that to happen. I also think there's a lot of strength in the partnership, and if you look at some of the consolidation that's gone on, it's able to try to keep up, right? The big boys keep getting bigger,
Right.
and there are certain competitive situations that make it a lot harder to compete
Right,
when you're by
yep.
yourself. So a lot of that consolidation, I think, is also to help the business go forward and compete in different areas and bring, in a lot of cases, some different levels of expertise into that business that they may not have had in the first place. So that's driving a lot of consolidation. And I think the third thing is there's some new consolidators that have come in to the traditional PE space. There's the big four, of course, but if you look at what's happened with some of the major big names in the aftermarket,
Yeah.
all that are a lot of them are funded through sponsors and private equity groups, and their goal is to continue to grow and consolidate to be able to leverage their buying conditions and really grow their business. So
Yeah, for sure.
some new
Yeah.
players have come in, and I think that it's a really interesting time for distribution in the aftermarket.
So, Mike, you mentioned that there's been a lot of WD consolidation over the past 20 years.
Yep.
Do you think, is there room for more consolidation?
There is, and I think that there's a number of factors that are going into that. For an independent entrepreneur, they clearly want to think about the next generation for their family and their own estate planning,
Right.
and that's very important. And it's not just about the immediate family; it's the employees of their business and who's going to run this thing down the road and how are they going to continue to be successful. So there's a lot that goes into the next step from an owner's perspective, and that's why I go back to finding the right partners is really the most important aspect of that deal, to find somebody that wants to really meet the needs of that specific owner. I think there's that strength in partnership.
Yeah,
the
right.
big boys are getting bigger, and to be able to go through and have scale and have the ability to grow with capital is really what is attractive, and also fueling the consolidation on both sides, because we've seen a lot of new entries into the traditional WD space from the private equity community that have come in over the last few years. And,
Right, yep.
Their goal is to continue to fuel growth of the businesses that they invest in, and they want to be able to go through and find the next market to get into and the next business to bring into their culture and integrate. So I think that with additional players in the space, that's another reason for the consolidation. But ultimately, to find the right partner and be able to do that, I think is very important.
For sure.
So those are some of the reasons I think it's going to continue, and I think it's a very healthy thing for the aftermarket. There's always going to be a place for really well-run, privately owned businesses, privately run WDs. They do very well in their own market. I always say an independent entrepreneur's got to outwork, out-hustle, outwin
Right.
the corporate guy. But the reality is, to keep that entrepreneurial spirit moving forward and finding the right partner is really what I think the aftermarket can survive and continue to win.
Yeah, for sure. No, that's 100%. So do you think we'll end up with a market that just has a handful of distributors, a mix perhaps of large public distributors and private distributors? What, if you're looking into your crystal ball, I guess, if you will.
I think the consolidation is still going to happen. So,
Yeah.
But I think it's also very kind of segment driven too. I look at more of kind of the niche distributors. If you think about some of the e-commerce distributors that are out there, or some of the specific category distributors that are out there, and I'm not even talking about going across the street into the performance world and all the niche distribution that goes on there. So I still think that there will be pockets of those types of distributors in there. In the traditional space, I think that you still have, as I said before, the ability for really well-run independents to continue to thrive. But I do think as the market changes, partnership's going to be really important, and finding the right distribution partner for you is going to be critical for the success of those businesses and the longevity of those businesses.
Well, Mike, thank you so much for sharing your expertise and your experience in the industry. I really appreciate it, and I know our viewers will as well.
Well, Maddie, it's been a pleasure to be here. I really enjoyed our conversation, and I'm looking forward to having a great industry week and moving forward together. So,
awesome. Thank you so
very
much.